Welcome to the Agency Navigators Podcast. I'm Ro.
I'm Don.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Shauna.
We are so happy and grateful for all of you to join us once again. This time, this is going to be a quicker topic, but probably one of the most important we've done. As we've all been working, all four of us, with our clients, deep in the numbers and deep in the planning and everything this year, what has been the theme?
Well, I think sometimes it's complex, and yet there's ways to make agency finances and metrics simpler.
Mm-hmm. So in our discussions, and Kay and Shauna, please jump in, how we've been boiling it down, we know the market is softening. That's
absolutely.
Human issues are rising. So there's been a lot of angst. There has been a lot of change. And in our conversations, in our strategies, we've been trying to simplify it to keep one of our previous recordings was stick to the core.
Absolutely. The battle in the trenches where we talk about new business, retention. And today we're going to give you another way, a really simple way and powerful way to look at, are you winning or are you losing?
Mm-hmm. And we're now calling it the ACFO ratio. So this is something really, really we're honing in on, and we're branding it for ourselves. Agency CFO, we are always innovating. So the ACFO ratio, what do we got, guys?
It's actually a lot simpler, and I'll tee Don up to that. Going back to your point, Ro, things are complex. We talk about the market, we talk about people. There's a lot of complexities in it, but if you go back to the two most simplest forms of insurance, I don't know which law it is, but it states, usually the right decision is the simplest option. So when we go back to what's simple, it always goes back to new written business and to actual cancellations. It goes in and what's leaving us. And those are two of the most easiest ways we can really gain control back of the agency, the market, our people, all the things that bring noise to us. Those are the two sides of the coin. And going back to our ratio, this is, let Don tee it up. I'm just teeing him up for it, but those are the two sides of the coin that always matter.
Absolutely. And sometimes, with agencies, we're talking about big numbers often, sometimes numbers in the hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million. And oftentimes it's hard for everybody on the team to get their mind around, well, okay, but is it good or is it bad? And that's where a ratio can come in. It can reduce these really big numbers down to something that everybody can understand. And the ability to keep it simple and understandable, there's great value in that. So today we're going to take something that can be kind of big and unwieldy at times, and we're going to make it so simple that everybody can understand and really use it as a tremendous managing aspect.
Absolutely. And Shauna's returned to us from her maternity leave, so we are thrilled to have her back. And Shauna, I'm going to direct this and have the little conversation with you on this. We had a client, Don and I were on the call, and the team was very upset because of their retention numbers. And to the point of they were worried about the future of the business because the retention numbers weren't great. And that was part of why, we've got to explain this better. Any insights as you've been back, as before you left, you're integrated with the clients and coming back, any insights on the importance of sharing metrics with the team members?
It's such a complex concept, even though it's really not. But so I love the idea of the ACFO ratio. It makes it more understandable for everybody. I think it's great when agencies are transparent with their teams. They start talking about the numbers. They start bringing that into all of their meetings so that the team also knows where they're headed. And something as simple as a ratio, I think, is very easy for everyone to understand. And I was focusing on it with my clients because as what we're seeing, we're starting to see a softer market. We're starting to see those growth rates decrease without anything else really changing within the business, which is indicating that we're heading into that soft market. And so that was why I started focusing with my clients on that net written growth at the end of last year, because that's what we're starting to see. That's what we know is coming. So it helps everyone understand are we okay? Are we doing the things that we need to do to sustain this business long term?
Perfect. All right. So give the background of the formula. We've gotten some teasers on the net written growth. What have we got here?
2 data points only, and then 1 calculation. So we take the year-to-date new written business. So whoever generates new business, producers, account managers, house business, wherever it
As
comes
a
from,
whole,
as
the
a whole.
whole written business, new.
New, year-to-date. The second number is, on the flip side, is what's our client retention loss via revenue. So we're going to take new business revenue and our retention loss in revenue dollars year to date. Now the calculation. Take the new business, divide it by the amount of retention loss. I'm going to give you a quick example. Easy math here. We have $100,000 year to date of new business revenue. We've lost $50,000 in client retention revenue. 100,000 divided by 50,000 equals 2.0. All right, easy math.
Where ideally it is easy math, and it's the real basic, as Kayla said, measuring what comes in and what's going out. As we talked with Shauna, make it manageable and understandable for the team. What is the range you would like to see as a CFO?
Very, very good question. So in our example of 2.0, it means that for every $2 of new business generated by the agency, 1 is being lost via retention.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that's a simple concept. Everybody can understand $2 coming in, $1 going out the back door. Not a bad situation. A lot of agencies would love to have 2 times more new business than retention loss. In that world, your agency's probably growing 20, 25, 30% or so. That's a pretty healthy margin or a healthy ratio at 2.0. 1.0, if for every dollar coming in the front door, $1 is going out the back door in retention loss, we're pretty much stalemated. We're in a very slow growth, if any growth, at the agency. So 1 is kind of that, it's a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stalemate. And that means your revenue growth is going to stalemate as well. The higher the number,
we need to be over 1 to be positive.
2, you're
It's
pretty
better.
is
2 and up is really where we want our agencies to be.
3, you are in high growth mode. Conversely, let's say we take the new business, divide it by the retention loss, and it's 0.8. Well, what that means is that for every 80 cents coming in the front door, $1 of retention loss is going out the back door.
Yeah.
You're in an unhealthy, you're losing the battle then. If your ratio is less than 1, you're losing the new business retention battle, and you're actually going to experience negative growth.
So the ACFO ratio, it is a bit of magic because it's so simple.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it
It's
beautiful.
so simple.
I was going to say, I think why it makes it also so simple, going back to how does it make it manageable for the team to understand? When I look at that ratio, I think it takes out of the equation, are we at 90%? There's not a lot of best practices for where retention should be. That's generally based on geography, the area, what type of business they're writing. There's a lot of different pieces to that. So 90% for one agency can be very difficult, especially as you start to scale. I think what's nice about this ratio is it puts it in context and levels the playing field for all agencies, because it's essentially going off of your revenue figures, not an agency out of your size range. So I think going back for the team, it makes it really simple. When you just say 90% retention, well, is that good? Is it that bad? What if we were actually aiming for 95? In this case, it makes it pretty simple for the team to understand on, a simple basis.
And then the final key to all of this is accurate reporting. So the final tip to this magic ratio, our ACFO ratio, is to make sure your new business is being reported accurately, your retention is being reported accurately. Retention loss.
Those are 2 of the 5, what we call pillars of key data. New business generated in revenue terms, as well as client retention loss. Those 2 numbers are absolutely essential, because those are the 2 numbers that will tell you, are we winning or are we losing?
Right. The whole work smarter, not harder. It comes down to keeping the clients you've got. So in the end, Team Agency CFO, Team ACFO, as we like to call ourselves, we're here for all of you. We're always open to a conversation. If you have questions about our ACFO ratio, if you have questions about new business tracking or retention loss, we have a team of experts. We've been doing this a long time now. We have the tools developed. We are here for all of you.
Absolutely. Our advice today is keep it simple. And simple is good for your financial health.
Absolutely. Anything in closing, Shauna?
Nope, I think we covered it all. I love that it's simplistic, but yet it's still hitting on the main thing that we need to be focusing on in any business. It's like Kayla said, it takes out anything that would deter any of our numbers. It can be kind of looked at from a lot of different types of businesses. So that means that it removes any of those factors that you might have dependent on where you live, what market you're in, what type of business you've niched in. So
perfect. And Kay, anything else?
I would say if you're listening to this and want an action item, go do your own ratio, tag us in the comments, tell us, share with us. We'd love to see it. And, the more that we can get involved with everyone, I think it's exciting to see, how our agency is growing. This is exciting topics for us, believe it or not. We do love to talk about insurance and finances. So, tag us if you do your own ratio.
Absolutely. That's a really good one. And as always, please follow us on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. Reach out. We are here to help.
Okay, go ahead and calculate your ACFO ratio and improve your financial health. Be well.
Bye-bye.